Disney baby?
This is Disney baby.
Ah, tell me about it.
Come on, Diz. Come on, baby.
No, Disney is a service dog of Miss Peggy. So Miss Peggy, would we be able to go into your
Absolutely,
place? So
yeah.
you want me to freeze?
Yeah. My friend said that you're out here. That's why
Oh,
she wanted
good, good. Well, I see that the telephone goes real fast here. We met Disney, and Disney is a service dog of Miss Peggy. So Miss Peggy, we're here from our positive psychology class, and our dear professor, Dr. Freeman, asked us to do a project.
Yes.
And we chose, hi Eileen, we chose to do something on gratitude.
Okay.
Because when we look at you, we look at someone who is so grateful about life in spite of all the obstacles that you had to go through. So we thought that, bye Eileen.
Bye-bye. I'll be back.
So we
Okay.
thought that maybe you could really express and let us know how, in your situation, you still can feel gratitude. That would be
Okay.
awesome. So, so tell us a little bit about your life and
Okay,
what has happened.
I can make it very brief. I was born with beautiful family, beautiful parents. They were dysfunctional in their own way. We all are. But they really taught us consistency and consequence. And I think it's knowing consequence that makes me grateful. You know, I was trying to think about it the other day. Number one, I give credit to God. But if I didn't understand consequences for what happens, what I do, I don't think I would get it. If I were to go through life just doing whatever I wanted and not understanding that whatever I do, good or bad, there's consequences, I wouldn't have any gratitude or appreciation for what I do that creates my life. Also, I was really trying to go through my mind things that make me happy and has allowed me to go through life successfully. Mom and Dad always taught us to live within our means. I think if I had learned that, I wouldn't be grateful today for what I have and for what I'm able to do with my money. Fast forward, I had a wonderful experience. I went to Indiana University and also took a couple classes at St. Mary's, which is across from Notre Dame. And I learned about a place, trying to keep it brief for you, in Northern Ireland.
We have all the time in the world.
Okay. In the 70s, you're probably aware of this, I'm not sure of your age, but 70s were very violent in Northern Ireland. And
The IRA?
yeah,
Yes.
and they had a community center called Corrymeela, which in Irish means Hill of Sweetness. And I found out that I could volunteer there. Well, that was, you know, it was like bingo. I didn't have money. So if I could take care of my flight, I could get to Ireland and live there free. I'd get room and board and a few dollars a week. I didn't smoke or drink. I learned a lot there. And I think a lot of gratitude for what I have, because they didn't have near the freedoms that we feel we had, but part of it was because of consequences. I mean, they had a terrible violent society. I didn't have a violent society here, not even in my home, but I'm not trying to go too far. So I had that opportunity there, and that gave me a feeling of success because I was able to do it within my means, didn't have to use help, except for transportation to the airport. And I learned a lot there. I didn't realize it. And looking back, I think these things added to my ability to have gratitude for my life. I worked in a place called the Markets, a stronghold of the IRA in Belfast. I found out later what it was. I worked for Corrymeela. I go into the markets and just get to know the families and get to know the children, because we were going to select children from the markets area to come up to the community center, and then we selected children from the other stronghold, the Protestant area. We put them together, and then after a couple of days, they had to play or be bored. So then they played with each other, which taught them that the other person is just a human being. So I saw these things, which was really cool. The children tend to lead me which area I should go out. And the times, a couple times, that I didn't go by the BBC, a bomb blast went up in the Europa Hotel. So, that's why I say God gives me all of this too. God somehow granted me the ability to get out of the markets through his children.
Wow.
So I feel like I was saved then. Another thing, I think that really changed my attitude in, detours. Christmas came and everybody went home. We had German people. They went to Germany. The United States was just a little bit too far out of my financial means and ability to go home. So I had friends in Downpatrick, a small village near Belfast. They invited me to come Christmas Eve, go out to a party, and the Irish can really party. And stay overnight, wake up at their family's home, and have Christmas. Well, I took the train down to Belfast, and I missed the last bus going to Downpatrick. Well, I was angry. I didn't yell at God, but I said, how could you make me miss this bus? Well, he didn't make me miss it. I missed it. It was a consequence of not getting up earlier. So I had to take the last train back up north to be able to be somewhere Christmas Eve. I was angry. Now, this was in the 70s. We didn't have cell phones. Christmas morning, did I think that it was a day that represented our Jesus' birthday? No. And here I'm sitting on a cliff overlooking the ocean. I could see Scotland on a clear day. All this wonderful thing in my life, age 20. And I'm mad because I missed a bus, and I blame it on God. So, a week later, I find out that they were all killed in a car accident, coming home from the party. I wasn't supposed to be there. It changed my whole view on detours. It made me feel, and maybe this cemented the gratitude. It made me feel that, for me, I feel I'm in God's hands no matter what happens. So with the upbringing of my parents, teaching me consequences, and then I'm seeing a result of my consequence. I didn't get to go to my friend's house. And then my belief, God saving me for something else. Maybe not better, not worse, just something else. So now when I have detours, even when I had to call you because I had problems here, it's only a detour. And look what the detour did.
Yes.
We got to meet
I remember that.
a real jerk that lives in the community that was causing me hassle. So that was just another detour. If I hadn't gotten through the detour, I wouldn't have met you,
Right.
which is wonderful.
Yes.
Yay!
Same for me. Same for me.
It's really cool.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it's God's directions, but we have to make the choices. And if we don't make the choices, we never see the rewards and feel the gratitude and feel the appreciation.
There's the fact that, because of when you talk to me about your story about the your immune system that was deficient and you became totally disabled, did the gratitude kick in right away, or you kind of looked at it and saying, well, look what is happening to me?
No,
How did you look at it?
I had to go through the grieving process. In fact, I was married, and a few days, my hands hurt really bad. I was married for a while. And my husband was in the military, so we went to the Air Force doctors in Colorado Springs. Back in the 1980s, prednisone was a biggie, cortisone. They used it for everything. In my opinion, it should only be used for when a brain is swelling. It's a very serious medicine. They put me on such high doses, 60 milligrams, which now, I think your body only produces 5, something like that. That I believe, from what I've read, it suppressed my immune system, and my body's joints, or my body attacked the joints. I think I told you some people have gotten cancer, whatever you're predisposed to. I had such terrible pain that once the pain was gone, I had relief. But then, within 30 days, every joint in my body hurt because the immune system was suppressed, in my opinion. And I had a bit of anger. My husband was getting ready to leave for Korea. I wanted to go. But I found myself, actually a short time after he left, I woke up, I couldn't move. Every joint hurt so bad. I caught suicidal pain. Inner suicide. I wasn't suicidal, but I wouldn't jump in front of a truck. But if the truck accidentally veered off the road, I would have jumped out of the way. So by definition, I'm really not suicidal, but I wanted the pain to end.
But it crossed your mind.
Yeah, it crossed my mind, but I wouldn't have created it. So I had to work through doctors, and they tried everything, and nothing worked. So at that point, after reading the effects of medicine, I probably would have been on dialysis by now. I started reading, and I decided I had to find an alternative route. And I went to food, went to a health institute, and within about 2 weeks, maybe about a week, I had 50% less pain. That gave me gratitude for less pain. What triggered into me was, okay, this is a consequence that I can change the consequence. If I eat this way, I won't have as much pain. Maybe my parents also, and God, helped me look for answers. So since I did so well, I stayed on the diet, and I did fabulous. I have pain today, but it's not suicide pain. It's very livable pain. So livable. After a few years later, my husband said he wanted a divorce. I know. And he wasn't in for the long haul. But we had a wonderful relationship. I don't think I would have ever known if I hadn't gotten sick. Now
So you're even grateful about the failed relationship?
Yes. God got me out of that. He said, made a mistake, Peggy. Let's turn this around. Now, at first it was hard because I was disabled and I didn't even have Social Security. But I'll tell you a secret. Well, it's not a secret, it's on tape. Due to divorce, he had a really good attorney. He was smart. He got a woman attorney. I had a very good attorney. And after it was over, his attorney said to my attorney, now I'm paraphrasing it, wow, she really is disabled. So I'm assuming that my husband, and maybe many people in that circumstance would say, she's not disabled, she's faking it. Well, the turnabout was both attorneys got together and said, we got to get her Social Security. And they did that. If I hadn't had a divorce or gone to court with an attorney, God wouldn't have been, well, he would be able to do anything, but he wouldn't have used that to turn around and have me not be with somebody who didn't truly love me.
So basically what you're saying is that most of the obstacles in your life, you're able to turn them around by the grace of God, in your own word.
Yeah.
And they have become positive things for you.
And choices and consequences. And then I choose for them to be positive. I look for the positive part.
Mm-hmm.
And it's proven over and over. Now, I have told God that I'm really tired of learning. I don't really want any more obstacles. And then this one came up.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I see what he does with it, or life does with it, or choices, whatever the person's belief might be, it's almost like, okay, bring another one. So, and I say that kindly, because he's allowed me to get through everything. But I'm going to take a little credit here. Actually, I give all glory to God, but he's allowed me to learn to make it positive. Because I don't want to take much credit from God. I don't know how I would say that, but I want to take credit for using the brain he gave me. Let me put it that way.
I mean, you could have gone the other way.
Absolutely.
You could have felt sorry for yourself
Yeah.
and said, you know what, I'm just going to throw my hand in the air and I'm just going to put myself in that corner and die.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that.
No.
And as a result, I wanted also for you to speak about that wonderful project that you have coming up. About
I find something I do need that I lost or appeared to lose when I became disabled, because I used to teach and I love kids, is I lost purpose. I think without purpose, you can't have hope. You can't make the choices. You can't make the right choices. The last few years, it's very hard to get a small service dog, at least on the East Coast. And so we've trained a lot of our own. I have a passion to create this foundation for small service dogs. There are so many disabled people in wheelchairs that need an animal that can pop on their lap. Because I've noticed, I've gotten to know a lot of people in wheelchairs, the ones that are active, they're out there 12 to 14 hours a day. Most dogs can't handle that unless they're riding for a while. So the smaller dog is much better unless you need a strong tug. So anyway, the foundation, number one, we're going to teach all dogs on and off the leash. Now, some people can hold their dog continuously, and they may not need that. But if they drop the leash, God forbid, they're not going to have to panic or see a dog get killed by a car. So that's going to be a biggie in the foundation. But there's a lot of small dogs on the West Coast, service animals. There's a lot of dogs here that are taught from rescue dogs. You have to be careful. Not every dog can be a service dog, but
That's true.
I'm guessing 50% of rescue dogs can make it. So we hope to use rescue dogs and maybe start building, I call it building, not growing, a particular type of small service dog. So that's exciting for me, and that gives me purpose.
Well, if that happened, please let us know, because we would love to document that.
Absolutely.
I would love also to be
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
that'd
thank
be
you.
awesome. I would love to be a
Yeah,
part of that.
As a trainer, I would absolutely love to do that.
Well, the word positive hasn't already been taken.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
I love that. I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
But we want to also start putting your thinking caps on for a good, simple name.
I have one,
Yeah.
because I thought about it.
Oh,
You have been in my thoughts.
you're wonderful.
What do you think about angel paws?
Angel?
Angel paws.
I like that.
And I don't know how in English it would work, if it would be paws angel or angel
No,
paws. I never figured this one
Angel
out.
paws.
Angel paws would be good.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, you could have a paw, and you could have two
Wings.
little angel wings as your logo.
I like that. Now, all of you who are watching this, it's already taken. We are copywriting it right now.
Okay.
As of right now. Got it.
I love that. Because they are like angels.
They are angels.
And they're gifts from God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I don't think anyone gets away without a challenge.
You're right.
People look like they're just doing fine. But they're like little ducks, and I probably read this somewhere, so I didn't come up with this. They're like little ducks on a pond, and they're just floating by, but underneath their little feet are just paddling so hard just to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one gets by without. Yeah, I don't
That's
think so either. Yeah.
So if you had to address our class, you are very young, wonderful people, what would be your advice for them to lead a grateful life of their own, as a final word?
Well, to know first of all there's consequences for every thought, every deed, every action. So if you can think about what you want the consequence to be, even with friends, like do you want it to work out or do you not? You have to really look back at the thought, action, and deed. And from there, you can create a positive outcome or a negative. And once you have respect first and like, it can turn into love. Without those three things, nothing works. So you have to respect your choices, respect what you want to happen, respect the consequences, make turns in the road when you have to, and you'll turn into liking what's happening, And that's either positive or negative. If you like negative, you'll go that direction.
That's true.
And then the final thing is your consequence will result in what you truly want in life. I don't think everyone wants to be positive.
That's true too.
But I don't know how negativity can go anywhere. That's the difference to me. Can choose whatever, but only a positive route wins the prize, happiness. And I thank you for challenging me to think about this and seeing that goodness in me. Thank you.
On the faces of people going by, I see friends shaking